Welcome to the stream, my friends. It's just you and me. Well, of course, our buddies, Caleb and Jackson Holiday. He's switching up the switchboards as Caleb tickles the key. So won't you stay a while and get some musical advice from me? What's up, stream? It's your boy Zach. We got Caleb on the keys, and we got Sweet Baby Jay on the switchboard.
Yo, yo.
Sweet Baby Jay! All right, here's how the show's gonna work, folks. I may be the happiest person I know, and I love giving advice. And I love giving advice over accompaniment. That's where Caleb comes in. And so, if you want some advice, it could be anything. I just ask, dear Lord, please make it serious. Make it be real. I can sniff a fake advice questions 2 miles away with a 126,000 meter pole. So yeah, you're going to hop on the chat, hop on the LaughPass chat, ask anything. It could be about relationships. It could be about business. It could be about life. It could be about health. It could be really about anything. And then what will happen is Caleb will play a sweet little ditty. I'm going to open up the recesses of my mind, and I'm going to pour out to you my 35 years of experience. Do you know, my kids said, Dad, when you turn 18 or when you turn 36 next year, you're a super adult because you're 2 18s.
That's true.
Isn't that weird to think about?
Do you get anything cool when you turn 36? Because I'm 36 and nothing.
Nothing happened?
No.
You don't get a super vote?
I got slightly sadder.
Oh, no. You got a little more depressed?
A little more depressed.
That's what we have to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
All right, folks. Also, let you know, this is not a marketing tactic. I can barely see anything because my eyes are terrible and I lost my glasses and I'm so upset about it. So you're gonna have to go to laughpass.tv, enter the LaughPass chat, and go give us some advice questions, and we'll go ahead and hit that up. What are you laughing at, J-Man?
There's a dirty joke on YouTube.
Ewan, let's see here. Oh, that's perfect right here. Jackson, feel free to moderate like crazy. I don't know what you are able to, but if you want to delete comments. We had someone who canceled the LaughPass subscription because the trolls were so intense.
Oh, man.
No.
And they weren't, it was weird. They didn't leave because they're like, oh, the experience there. They felt so bad for us. Like they felt a need to defend us in the comments. And they said it was like exhausting.
Oh, geez.
It was exhausting, like trying to defend you guys.
The job of protecting us is too hard.
Oh my gosh, my eyes barely work. Hi, I'm from the Ukraine. Currently, I'm a soldier in the artillery. I had to say that I like your content. I really think you're talented. Thank you so much. Thank you for your service. Good luck out there in Ukraine. I know it is crazy. I'm sorry Putin is insane. I'm sorry that he's doing all that stuff to you. And please, Godspeed and God bless. Am I boy or girl? That's the sweet thing about improv, baby. You can be whatever you want. Let's see. These guys are, oh my gosh, focused on making money.
Way too focused on making money for doing nothing.
Oh my gosh, you think this is nothing? You think I got into these sweats and this purple Nike shirt to do nothing? How dare you?
I'm gonna hit back at this. Isn't that what we all want to do? Make as much as we can for as little as possible.
Why are you getting mad at that? Here's my first piece of advice. Okay. So I thought about this. Everyone's wants to get back into remote work or away from remote work. All the new employers are like, you got to be in office because you got to feed my ego and you got to build culture. Here's what I say to that.
Yeah.
If you demand that I'm in office, then you will only get me from 9 to 5. But you better not call or expect anything before and after. But if you give me the flexibility to work at home, to be able to take my kids out to lunch, to be able to answer calls when I need to, I'll be up in the wee hours. I'll be up at 4 a.m. I will give you the flexibility. I think that's fair.
That's really generous because I would also just say you still just get me fired.
Even if you're at home.
Yeah.
And less because
And I'll
we
take
both
my
know.
cats to lunch.
I'll take my kitty cats to lunch.
Meow.
Have you ever taken your cats out for a walk with leashes?
Yeah. One of my cats, Hero, we wanted him to be an adventure cat. We've got like a harness thing, and he'll go outside sometimes. But we started too late, and he's an idiot.
Really? Just wouldn't do it?
No, he'll go outside, but he won't like.
Walk with you?
No, because he'll just stop and sniff something, or if he finds something that he thinks he can crawl inside of, he'll disappear for hours.
That's hard to be a cat because you're so mobile. Have you seen those sleepy shoulder kitties like in Japan, like the traveling kitties, where literally all they do is nestle their chin on your shoulder?
Bike, and the cat's just like.
Wham! Like, where are these cats?
Yeah. I would say you've had a particularly negative experience with cats.
Yes.
All my cats have been great.
I know. I fostered a kitty and I loved it, and I brought it back from the brink of death, and it betrayed me so hard.
In a really horrible.
And it scratched my daughter's face. I'm like, what the heck? You cats don't understand their privilege. You were a hill cat. You were screaming on a hill with gloop crusted on your eyes. We saved you. We cleaned you, but you don't have the brains to know how grateful you should be. Have you seen those videos of like my cat raised from a kitten versus my cat I saved from the street? And the cat saved from the street is like very grateful because it has the context of like, oh, outside my dumpster, bad, scary.
Right.
Inside your home, I love. But the one who was raised from birth has only known privilege. And so it's just killing everybody. Oh my gosh, cats. All right, folks. Hey, welcome to Musical Advice with Caleb and Zach. What we're doing is we're like happy, successful, really great people. And what are our qualifications for that? Look at this face. Look how happy we are. That could be you. And all you got to do is you got to hop on the LaughPass chat, go to laughpass.tv, and drop a question. I want real advice questions from you, and we're going to answer for them musically to help the medicine go down. Because we're not going to sugarcoat it, except we will through music. We are going to audibly make it more saccharine so it goes down. What's that?
I'm the sugar, you're the medicine.
I'm the sugar. Bam! That's what I like. Sugar and spice, baby.
Jackson's the spoon.
Jackson is the spoon.
Big spoon or little spoon?
Let's
Medium.
see here.
Medium.
Anita Lobby says, why don't cats play poker in the jungle? Too many cheetahs. There's just too many cheetahs out there.
That's silly.
That's really silly. Let's see here. Wait, is he related to Dale Atherton? Oh, we can't get more Dale lore.
No more Dale. No more Dale.
Oh my goodness. Oh, my sweet Papa Dale. If you are if you're a violent criminal, then you might want to talk to my dad because he might represent you in court.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, he hangs out almost exclusively with violent criminals nowadays.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not, but we'll see.
You're not?
I'm not yet, but we'll see.
I don't think oh my gosh, of all the crimes, violent crimes, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
I couldn't be
Give me a
violent.
good, like white collar crime.
Gentle crimes.
Gentle crimes.
Gentle, sweet crimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like tax fraud.
Yeah, it's a sweet crime.
Yeah, crime against the government is cool. I'm not going to say that much.
Let's see here. I can't read it because it's blue. I have a question. You think West Ham will give Terry Tingle some time off the bench? I'm guessing this is a sports question, and I'm also guessing this is a soccer question because I can only assume a person named Terry Tingle could be famous as a soccer player.
I like the name.
What?
Jackson, do you have any insight on this? Do you know anything about Terry Tingle?
No, but it does sound more so to me like a baseball name.
Terry Tingle?
Yeah.
No, dude, Terry Tingle's
They got Babe Ruth.
He's a curler.
Terry Tingle.
For sure.
Yeah, that's an Olympic curler.
No. I think baseball, because you got like Babe Ruth or like the Great Bambino. Is that the same person?
That's the same person, yeah.
The king of SWAT. Or the Sultan of SWAT. Do you trust self-driving cars? I think the ones with the LiDAR radar that I saw in Arizona, I believe that. Anything with a big spinning propeller that is constantly taking information, trust that way more than Tesla. Easy, no problem. Although, I think I would trust a driving car way sooner than we should.
Yeah?
Like if I heard one person, they're like, I slept and it took me straight to Disneyland and I woke up at Disneyland, I'd be like, one piece of evidence that it works, I'm going now.
I don't think I could do it.
How many like years of establishment would you need before you did a self-driving car?
Oh, it would need to be like very prevalent, I think, for me to be like, okay, I'll do it now.
Yeah.
Because I don't like, I gotta have my wits about me, and I gotta be in control of that stuff. It's the same reason why I'll never skydive. Like, yeah, chances are it'll go great, but if something doesn't,
Well, what's the best case? Here's the thing about skydiving. What's the best case scenario? You jump out of a plane.
And you maybe poop yourself.
That's the best case scenario. You jump out of a plane and survive. That's crazy. Jackson, could we get that text up on the screen so people know where to go? I'm not seeing it, at least on...
to LaughPass?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
So advice at laughpass.tv.
That's what you wanted me to do.
Well, hello, folks. Welcome to the show. Today we're doing musical advice with Caleb and Zach. Here's how it works. We are maybe like the wisest, happiest people you'll ever meet. And so we want to be able to share with you what you need to do to be better. Okay? Like, I don't mean to come off condescending, but you know that there's things in your life to help you be happier, more successful. And there's no better people to tell you what you need to do today. Let me give you a free one right now. Like, if you knew that publicly asking for $1 billion every single day for 10 years would get you $1 billion on the last day of the 10th year, but you can't miss a day. If you knew it in your bones, would you do it? But you have to shout it from the rooftops every day, I want $1 billion.
You would for sure know 100% that
you know
would
it.
get it.
At least you know. Like, you really believe it. Some source has told you and you believe it without a shadow of a doubt. Would you do that? Would you get up every single day, even though you're sick, even though you're tired, even though you're embarrassed, and people are going to be like, this crazy guy? I know. Would you do it?
Yes.
Yes! Yes!
I did have to think about it.
Yes! Of course you would do it. And so it's the same thing. It's like if you miss a day, you don't get it. And so that's how dreams work. That's how the goal that you want works. You have to ask every single day with your actions, and you can't stop. And we don't do that because we don't know. We think we don't know, but we see other people doing it. And so that's my free advice. Have you asked for what you wanted today? And if you haven't, you have to start, and you got to do it for 10 years. Whatever it is. Someone else says, how can I stop two big dogs from fighting? Oh my gosh.
Oh,
well,
man.
That's wild. I don't know. Stay away. Big dogs, if they're cats, grab them by the nape of their neck and rub it, because that's what their mommy does. And you make them go like this, and you go, hey, 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 you're fine. Smell each other. Smell, nope, nope, nope. Smell each other. Do your cats fight each other, Caleb?
It will always start as playing.
All right, and it'll
And
escalate.
then, like, I've got this one cat. He's not old, but he's older. So we've got 2 young cats and 2 old cats.
Mm.
And he'll, like, want to play with the kittens
That's
a little
right.
bit.
Yeah.
But then he'll run out of energy
So
immediately.
fast.
And they're like, we want to play for 7 more hours. So then he gets really mad because he just wants to nap.
Have you seen that guinea pig that they'll make a little bed by the piano and it'll just flop its head and fall asleep?
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's very cute and it's very sweet. All right, here, folks. Hey, folks, welcome to Musical Advice with Caleb and Zach. Ask us your advice questions on LaughPass.tv. And I'm so sorry, Jackson, you're halfway there. If you could put on top of LaughPass TV, so ask it or get advice at on top of that. Yeah, it's a call to action. It's a CTA. Anyone marketing? What are your favorite marketing acronyms? I love KPI, Key Performance Indicator. My new one that's in my vocabulary is CAC.
CAC?
Any idea what CAC is? CAC?
Don't like it.
I don't like it either.
What is it?
But it's kind of cool. It's customer acquisition cost. How much does
interesting.
it cost you to acquire a customer? The other one that took me forever was CPG.
Yeah.
Consumer product goods. I always thought it was PGC or CGP. And that's like consumables, like deodorants. And it's also like things you have to buy a whole lot. Yeah. I need to give an update on my toilet paper business. Did I tell you about this?
You haven't given me the update, no.
Okay, so I thought it'd be fun if we bought toilet paper at Costco, repackaged it with pictures of ourselves, and resold it as a subscription service. And so I bought a whole pack, and then I started doing the math on what it would cost to ship, and I worked it all out. And I was like, okay, if it's this, whatever. Turns out that the UPS ships by volume, not by weight. So even though toilet paper is incredibly light, it takes quite a bit of volume because it's quite
so
large.
much space on a truck.
Yeah. So even though it's only maybe like 10 pounds, maybe for like a big pack, they view it as something 50 plus pounds.
Oh wow!
And so it would cost us like $60 to ship.
To ship $18 of toilet paper.
Yeah. And so like that crushed my dream, and I'm like, oh, that's
man.
fantastic. But you always got to keep working.
Yeah, well, we wanted to, help him laugh and keep him clean.
But we opened a new business. It's called our singing improv-gram, and we sold 2 of those, and that was pretty fun. We did a singing telegram for someone's daughter and someone's boyfriend and herself.
Yeah.
She ordered one for herself and her boyfriend, and that was kind of a fun experience.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I really liked it. If you want a sing, were you able to send those to Ethan, by the way?
Yeah.
Yes. All right, I'll bother
When
him.
I was still sitting in this chair, my guy.
I love that. All right, folks. Welcome to the show. This is Musical Advice. This is the show where we give you free. Well, not. I guess it costs a little bit of money. It's on LaughPass TV. We give you musical advice, well, accompanied by Caleb Wall on the keys. It's beautiful. It's melodic. It helps you really absorb it. I always found that when you hear something with accompaniment, you just hear it better. So if you need to break up with somebody, then hire someone to accompany you while you do it. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, Caleb, lay me down something. Hey, Cindy. Hey, great to see you too. But hold off on the kiss. We need to talk a little bit. I want you to know that what I'm about to say isn't a reflection of who you are as a person, but where I'm currently at in my human journey. I know it's cliche to say, it's not you, it's me, because it is both of us. But I don't think there should be any shame of you knowing that our chemistry doesn't work in the way that were my expectations. And I want you to know that I think that you are a wonderful person and completely capable of being able to act the exact same way that you did and be exactly who you are, just with someone else, and I know that it's a better fit. And so I think we should call off the relationship. And I'd like to continue to be friends, but I will not be romantic with you. But just know that just because we're transitioning out of this part of our lives to somewhere else doesn't mean that I don't still really admire you and think you're a wonderful person. Goodbye. See, didn't that go down so sweet?
It did.
Were there any notes?
If I had received that,
Yes.
it would still have been devastating.
It would have been fun, like you hired a pianist to do this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's some fun involved, but also like, man, the amount of effort that they went through to break up with me was so much greater than the amount of effort it would normally take to break up with me.
Yeah.
They must have really wanted to break up with me.
Would you be mad at a breakup text?
Yeah, probably. Well, I guess it would depend on like what the history was.
The
Like
length
how
of the
much of a
relationship.
breakup is this, you know?
Like if you were dating someone 3 months, because I have a buddy, and again, I'm like, I think it's noble, but there's also a part of me that's like, I don't know, like he insists on breaking up with someone in person. But I'm like, even for like a month-long relationship that he said was toxic and was just like he was scared to see this person.
Yeah, text is fine.
And I was like, yeah, text is fine. Like, you
Yeah.
really don't owe them that much. You know what I mean? Like, I know for me, like, if someone breaks, and I have been broken up with text, and I'm like, great, thank you. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Now I just don't have to think about this anymore versus having to live with it.
That's fair.
I'm conflict averse. I ate suspicious stew, and I started and flooded my house. Interesting.
Suspicious stew.
Well, hey, folks, welcome to the show. This is Musical Advice with Caleb and Shay. Caleb and...
What's up, Shay? How you doing?
Caleb and me. No, Shay's not here. She's not feeling well. It's almost as if she's here with me. It's difficult. You know how babies think that they're an extension of their mother. Sometimes I feel that way with you guys, where I'm like, oh, I have my left hand and my right hand, my Caleb and my Shay. And yet sometimes I walk around life with one or no hands, and I say, wait, but wasn't I always born with those? And I remembered there's really 2 phases of life, pre-Caleb and Shay and post-Caleb and Shay. And that's how I see reality now. But anyway, it's just us. It's just Caleb. It's just Zach, and we're handing out some musical advice. So hop on to LaughPass.tv, hop into the LaughPass chat, and go ahead and give us advice questions that you want us to say to you while we're being accompanied by beautiful music. Let's see here. Maga Sharker says, "What should I do?" Go on LaughPass TV, my friend, and ask away. I need AC Garrett. I'm a girly girl, about to turn 23. And I've never been in a relationship. Now I've gotten down with the sweet baby lovemaking, and I don't know what to do about it.
Nor have I.
Nor. Oh, ne'er has there been a more
Ne'er
important
you
nor. Have I
Oh,
gotten
man.
down with that sweet lovemaking? I don't know what to do about it. People don't like me like that. Oh my gosh. I want to answer this, but you got to be a LaughPass member. Hop that in the LaughPass chat. We'll happy to do it. Let's see here. What's happening? Folks, this is musical advice. Pop an advice question into the LaughPass chat, and we will answer to it musically and beautifully. All right. I thought this might happen, and so I've prepared some pieces of advice. Number 1, start before you're ready. Start before you're ready. You're not going to be ready. You're not going to be prepared. The learning is in the doing. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you want to paint, just paint. If ever, I'm going to be saying things a lot of people know, but maybe some people don't. There was a class, a pottery class, you see, and the teacher split people up into 2 groups. In group 1, he said, I want you to make 1 pot, 1 vase, and your whole grade will be based on that. And I want you to make it perfect. And the other one said, I want you to make 100 pots, 100 vases, and deliver the 100th vase at the end of the semester. Can you guess who did better? The 100 people. The 100 vases people is because they tried and failed 100 times versus one who tried to make the first one perfect. You know, there's it's interesting. I've been in Utah for 10 years, and there's all these people who have these dreams of making movies, and all these people who've like gone to film school and analyze and buy the Criterion Collection. If you don't know what that is, it is DVDs for rich people. And there's people who I see who are making movies, and some of the stuff that they make is not very good, and they get ridiculed a little bit. But I have so much more respect for the person who has tried and failed. And if like one group were to ask for investment within a creative project, I would put my money on the person who's already done it. So start before you're ready. You're welcome. That's been free advice by Caleb and Zach. Hello, folks. Welcome back to Musical Advice. This is the show where we're handing out advice musically. Hop into the LaughPass chat. Go ahead and give us an advice question, and we will answer it musically and beautifully, melodically, because that's how it sticks. Messages get received when you hear them musically. They're called earworms, and when they go into your heart, they're called heartworms, and you have worms, and then you're a better person.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Get wormed.
Get worms, baby. All right.
I want to make that an insult now. Get wormed.
Get wormed.
Get wormed.
Yeah.
Yo, boy, get wormed.
Get wormed, kid.
We are worms.
All right, here's another free one for you fools. Embrace failure as feedback. And I'm going to couple this with something else. I want you to be uncertain. I think that confidence is a cancer. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean you can't have moments of confidence and moments of strength where you show up, but people who are chronically confident are some of like the most insufferable people in the world. I want you to constantly be unsure. You give me a big thumbs up, Jackson?
Yeah.
You're agreeing with this?
Agreed.
Heck yeah. Everything you do, I want you to give yourself a grain of salt. Not because I want you to beat yourself up. I want you to be confident in the attempt, but I want you to be uncertain in the result. And that's okay. Living with a little bit of uncertainty. So when people give you feedback, like you're able to take that and be like, maybe you're right. You're able to receive more voices of like, maybe you're right. Now, obviously, you got to learn how to filter this and figure out the voices you trust and the voices that are just trying to shut you down. So I write for a living, and I get writers in a room, and they all pitch stuff. And the people that I love to write with and work with is they realize whether or not the feedback is true. If someone says, this joke isn't working for me, I don't want that joke. Whether or not that is actually true or not, they respond by saying, no problem. I'm capable of writing 100 more options. Rather than, I know for a gosh dang fact this is good, and now we're going to spin our wheels on this, rather than being like, here's 100 more. And guess what? More often than not, the 50th option that you give them is way better than your initial option. So be uncertain, be confident in the attempt, and be a little unsure with the result, and that's okay because it allows room to grow. You're welcome. All right, looks like there's a problem with connection. Uh-oh. Okay, whatever. Hello, folks. Welcome back to Musical Advice with Caleb and Zach at Improv Broadway. This is where we are answering your advice questions, or my own. This is where we're doing my own prepared advice questions. If you're a LaughPass member, hop on a LaughPass.tv, hop into the chat, give us advice questions, and we will answer you beautifully and melodically, and it just might change your life. All right, next one. I think I've already talked about this one before, but here's my next piece of advice. Play the long game, and this is what I want to attach to that. Whatever you want to do is going to take so much longer than what you thought. Because even if you get the thing that you want, that's probably the first draft of what is going to be many drafts of you writing the masterpiece of your dream. Let me tell a story. So here in Utah, there was a very popular sketch show where a group of talented friends came together and made the sketch show. And it was a success. And they're famous. And deservedly so. They're very talented. And their chemistry is phenomenal. And I remember thinking, while seeing their success, I was like, man, if I could have that opportunity, then I would have similar results. I was so confident about that. And for years, I tried and I believed it and I plugged away. And then guess what? I got everything that I wanted. I got the funding, I got the casting, and I got the platform to do what I wanted with my art. And it was phenomenally mid in terms of the response. We did not become an overnight success. We did not all get jobs doing that thing. And it became version 1 of what has become version 6 of that same dream. And every time we try, and every time the expectation isn't as much as we thought, it is a little bit further along. And you can't see it in the moment. It's like the dew on the grass in your backyard. You don't see the dew there, but you look back and you're like, oh, it must have gotten there eventually. And so when you're thinking about what you want to do, just know it's going to take so much longer. But also, here's the comforting part about that. There's a finite amount of success to be taken in the world. There's a lot. It's abundant, but there's only so much. If you are the one to survive the decade of trying, nearly by attrition, you have increased your chances of getting what you want because the other people aren't willing to try as long as you want. Remember, life and success is a marathon. It's not a sprint. Oh, thank you. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Musical Advice with Caleb and Zach at Improv Broadway. This is where we are giving advice to our LaughPass members. If you're a LaughPass member, hop on to LaughPass TV. If you are not yet, I highly encourage you to go to LaughPass.tv and sign up. Let's list off some of the benefits. Caleb, what are some of the benefits of LaughPass.tv?
Your heavy breathing will become slow and peaceful.
Yes, you will be instantly calm. Jackson, what else?
You get access to all of our weekend shows as well as any podcast shows that happen in this room.
That's right. You also get to tell us what to do in the stream. Today, you're fueling us with advice questions. What else, Caleb?
Free tickets to our live shows.
Yes. Jackson, what else?
Gosh, he took mine.
Haha, gotcha.
Here's a new one. You get 25% off of our singing improvgrams. So if you have a request to a special someone for a song you want improvised, we will do that for you, and we'll record it, mix it, and deliver it within 7 days of the request.
You want to celebrate someone's birthday? You want to break up with somebody? You want to wish someone happy holidays?
Yes. You want to tell your grandma you want to see other grandmas? You know what I mean? Like, I keep visiting you at the old folks' home. Let's see, hold on. Hey, Zach, what does it mean? I had a dream about holding you.
I can read it for you.
Yes, please.
Hey, Zach, what does it mean if I had a dream about holding and feeding a baby? I don't have a baby.
Oh, that's easy. You dream random things all the time, and that doesn't mean anything. But how'd you feel about that? How'd you feel about holding that baby?
Do you want a baby?
Did it surprise you? I always find dreams are remarkably unreliable, and we should never look into them ever. One time in high school, I had a dream about, she's a very beautiful young lady named Justine, my age, of course. I can say that because I was also a young man. And but we were in totally different social circles. But I dreamt that she was wearing the cutest denim skirt, and that was enough. And I fell for her in my dream, and I was like, this must be a sign. And I went up to her lunch one day thinking if we can hang out, and I was just like, could not be more wrong. Like, the chemistry, like, we had absolutely nothing in common. It was so awkward. So don't believe your dreams. So maybe you should go the other way and don't hold a baby. Maybe that's your sign. If someone says, will you hold my baby? You say, not today. And maybe you just saved a life. All right, folks. Let's see here if there's someone hopping on here. Not even Georgia today. That's an interesting thing. But we just had someone join the website. That's cool. Maybe someone hopped onto LaughPass.tv. But what are we doing today, folks? Shay is at home recuperating for not feeling too good. So we're holding down the fort today with musical advice. We are giving advice to our LaughPass members. If you're a LaughPass member, go to LaughPass.tv. We'll give you advice about literally anything. And if you're not, sign up today. It's our hope to go full time so we can see on the road and create a whole bunch of cool shows for you. That'd be fun. But while we're waiting for our folks to populate LaughPass.tv, let's get into our next piece of advice. Done is better than perfect. And there's something I've never understood about perfectionists, is nothing is ever perfect. It can't be. Or everything's perfect. It really depends on how you think about it. There's two definitions of perfect. Definition number one is without flaw, which doesn't exist in the real world. The other is complete. Perfection is complete. And that is a subjective measure. Am I a flawed human being? Yes. But am I a complete human being? Also yes. With who I am today, I can say that I am a perfect human being. Now that being said, I think that perfectionists and loosey-goosey people make a great team. So shout out to my post-production supervisor for Dry Bar and Scripted that we did. She's a perfectionist, and I felt we made such a good team. Because I'm like loosey-goosey, like brushing ideas. It's like, hey, what about this? What about that? And she's the one who organizes it. And I'm the one to tell her it's good enough. And she's the one to tell me it could be better. So I think that's a good mix right there. So if you're a perfectionist, find yourself someone who doesn't care about anything. And if you're someone who doesn't care about anything, find yourself a perfectionist, because you might just create some cool stuff. You're welcome. Let's take a quick Kayla break. That's so pretty on the piano.
Thanks, babe.
Kayla break. Oh, don't a Kayla break. No Shay is no show. I understand. Let's take a quick break for everyone who's just here for Shay to leave. 3, 2, 1. Here. Art, if you're here, you have to stay for us. Let's see. Hello from Italy. Hello to you. Meow, 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 meow. That's wonderful. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. This is Musical Advice with Caleb and Shay. We're answering your dozens of advice questions on the LaughPass chat. A very successful prompt today. And what we'll do is we'll give you advice while accompanying you as well. Or I can just keep reading this list off of what I generated from ChatGPT. All right, Grace, on the LaughPass chat. Hi, improv team. Any advice on how to avoid small talk, or at least try to be more open to it? It pains me to yap about things I don't care about. I like getting straight into business. Grace, I love this question because I too also hate small talk. And let me tell you why, and this is actually an improv principle. People don't like to watch transactions. People like to see relationships. People like to see growth. And if Shay were here, she'd give you an example. She is phenomenal, incredible of asking open-ended questions that make you think and be like, oh my gosh, I'm discovering something about myself and I'm also sharing with you. So don't be ashamed. Small talk is for people who are too afraid to be real. Enjoy that about yourself. Ask big, awkward questions. Hey, when was the last time you were afraid? What's something that your 8-year-old self would be a little disappointed in? Flip that. What's something that you never thought you'd be able to do that you did and you'd surprise yourself in middle school? These are sort of the questions where it's just like, yeah, why are we wasting a gall-darn second on stuff that doesn't really matter? This is what drove me crazy. I used to be married, and I was in a church, and we would go with these other married people in the church, and we had the same gosh dang conversation every time. Where do you go on your mission? Where do you go to college? Are you in grad school right now? What's the plan? What are your kids doing? And some people, I swear, they find that comforting. It's like check checklist. And again, I'm not that person, so I don't know, so I don't mean to judge you if you're into that. But for me, I'm like, if I'm not getting a teeny little peek into your soul where I get to see your flaws and your humanity, I'm like, why am I wasting my breath? And that sounds really harsh. And I'll do it, and you'll never know. You'll never know I hate it because I'm a good actor, because I'm excellent at faking code switching it. But people on the know, you better ask me real stuff, or I will be dying inside. Thank you. Thank you, Grace. That's an awesome question. I appreciate that. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Musical Advice with Caleb and Caleb, and I don't even want to say myself. Maybe if I just say maybe if I gaslight people into thinking I'm Shay.
I think it's worth a shot.
Do you think I could do it?
I think
Hey, folks, it's me,
Is that your Shay impression?
internet darling, Shay McCombs. That was deep. Thank you. Thank you. That's what you get on Musical Advice with Caleb and Zach at Improv Broadway. If you are a LaughPass member, hop on the LaughPass chat. Give us some advice questions, and we will give advice while accompanied by beautiful music and tones by Caleb Wall on the keys. All right. While we are... Oh, this is perfect. And this is actually going to go into the last one. But here's another free one. Ooh. Friends, tell stories, not facts. This is again what I was talking about with transactional stuff. And here's something, as a person with ADD, struggles with. My brain is full of useless facts that I want to bring to the conversation that I only realize afterwards no one cared about. And Caleb, you've probably experienced this as my dear friend and compatriot in the arts. It's like, share something interesting. People don't want to know that the peregrine falcon is the fastest animal on Earth with a diving speed of 200 miles an hour. People don't want to know that. People don't want to know that a whale's fart can fit an entire BMW. They don't want to know that.
I actually really like both of those.
I love
No
both
one
of
wants
them.
to know this.
I wanted to know
They
that.
want to know stories, okay? Tell them real stories about yourself. Yeah, don't just be the trivia master, okay? That's gonna get you in big trouble real fast.
There's a worse version of that where I've got someone who is kind of like that in a way, except for all of the things that they bring is like, here's this horrible thing that's happening right now.
Yes.
Here's this horrible thing that's happening right now.
Oh.
Here's this horrible thing that's happening right now. And it's fine to like bring that up, like let's talk about it, but that's it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I can't.
My kids
I'm
call
sad
them
around you.
My kids call them yo-yo stories because my mom is like has a horror story for everything. Is that kind of what you're talking about?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, let's go to Arby's. Someone died from listeria there. Okay, we'll go to McDonald's. Nope, someone tripped into the Happy Play place and broke their neck.
Mm-hmm.
That sort of thing.
Yeah. My mom, what she'll do is she'll just come up to me and she'll say, "You want to hear something sad?" And I go, and then she'll just go into it.
Yeah.
And talk about like true crime or something awful that she saw on the news that day. And I'm just like, I'm eating Frosted Flakes.
My mom loves it. She loves hearing terrible stories and then will respond with 2 more.
Oh no.
And then
my
everyone
mom's
leaves
the
depressed.
opposite.
Who's that?
My mom's the opposite.
She
She's
won't.
like-
She'll shut it down?
Yeah, she'll just be like, please tell me something happy all the time.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
she
need
just
to be
want-
cheery.
She just wants to be surrounded by all of the most joyous things.
That's so
always.
sweet.
Yeah.
I wish every day was Christmas for her.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
All right, our sweet friend Georgia says, "Hello, my loves. Can I have some advice on how to have a better relationship with my parents when I disagree with most of their opinions, behaviors, and reactions? They're very aggressive and so pessimistic." All right, let's dig into it. Yeah, so it's difficult to have differing opinions from your parents because the dynamic is naturally one where they think they're older than and wiser than you, and that's very difficult to get past that coding. But what's also at the same time, I've noticed, at least for my parents, is they also want you to love them and like them and respect them. And so again, I can only speak from my experience, but I had one, and it was a shockingly productive conversation with my mom. So there's a semantic argument in politics where about what is racism and who can be racist and who cannot. And my mom didn't understand that the word racism was literally invented for a particular dynamic with a particular group of ethnicities. And so she was getting all up in this idea like anyone could be racist. This was racist to me. And I was trying to explain to her, I was like, Mom, I understand this is a semantic argument, but you need to understand that when you're going defending that everyone can be, that you are deleting the history of that word, which was invented to oppress a particular group of people. And she went off and she went off and she went off. And I notice if I just like sit and listen, and I just listen and I listen and I don't fight back, eventually she spins out and she's just like, there'll be an awkward pause, and she's like, well, what do you have to say about that? And I'll try to be as short and concise as possible. And the last time we did this, she went off on her own, and then she came back to me and she said, you know what? I was thinking about it, and I think I can see your point of view where you're right. You're right. The word racism specifically applies to this power dynamic. And I thought that was very cool. But every single time I've tried to hold my parents' feet to the fire, where I'm just like, facts, 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 article, it always triggers that defense in them. It's like something in them, it's like, my kid's not going to tell me what to do. My kid's not going to tell me. But if you hold space for them, like we've all been holding space for Defying Gravity, sometimes I think you give them the option to like see you as a human. You know what I mean? And obviously that not works. Some parents are much more narcissistic, and sometimes you just might need to draw boundaries. But that was a cool thing for me, because I had the same thing where I'm like, I'll never be able to convince my parents of anything. But on that one thing, it worked.
That's good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. All right. Hello, every folks. Hello, every folks. Welcome to the show. This is Musical Advice with Caleb and Zach at Improv Broadway. If you have advice questions, drop them into the chat, and we're going to answer them while accompanied by sweet, beautiful music by sweet baby Caleb Shea. All right, another question from Grace. I had a question about your show in Spokane. The tickets still say TBD. Do you know when the tickets will be available? If not, no worries. I'm excited to see y'all live. I just need to follow up with the guy. Thank you for the reminder, Grace. I will go and talk to our sponsor over there, and we'll get those tickets up. Because we're going to Spokane in April. Yeah. Spokane, and then we're also doing a mini tour in Idaho on the way up and the way back. So that'll be really fun. Go look for that. Big Hoss is in this chat. What? Who's Big Hoss? Is that a person that we should know? Isn't that from Bonanza? Hoss?
I feel like I've seen that in several things. Like it's a common nickname.
What's up, Hoss? All right, folks. Let's see here. Okay, Georgia says, my parents' instant reaction is always aggression and defensiveness, no matter the situation. So that was perfect advice. Thank you, sweet man. Thank you, sweet lady. Yeah, I just like, I think anger is like fire. It needs oxygen to burn. And again, like there's a difference between stonewalling, and I do think you need to be able to stand up for yourself. But it's just like, man, like in those moments of anger, I feel like it only... Oh, have I already talked about this? If you browbeat someone or use fear or anger to try to get your point, you don't actually change their point of view. You just encourage them to flee to their safe spaces.
Yeah, they sink in harder.
Because they're like, you made me feel stuff and I'm conflicted.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to go to safety, my pastor, my mom, my Reddit thread, my game or whatever, so that they can coddle me and like just say the things I already hear, and then it cements them deeper.
Yeah.
Which is, when I was deconstructing my faith a long time ago, I remember having conversations with like pretty hurt, depressed people, and rightly so. It's a very difficult thing to deconstruct out of religion. Excuse me. And I remembered that pushing me further into my beliefs. I was like, I don't want to be like that person. They seem so angry all the time. But I spent 3 days with someone who was totally apathetic about it. They're just like, yeah, I did some research and I looked at this and I was able to like talk about my concerns and my questions. There was no judgment. There was no anger. It was very factual. And it gave me the space to be like, wait, what do I believe? And what's important to me? And how do I think about my friends who believe differently from me? And am I being a loving person to people regardless of their sexual identity or whatever? And like allowing that space allowed for so much more growth than the other people who were right about some of the criticisms about my beliefs, but I didn't want to hear them because I was like, but you're being mean to me.
Right.
But you're being angry to me. I don't want to hear that you're being so angry to me. Let's see here. Oh, Layla's in the chat. Oh! What's up, Layla? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. All right, folks. Welcome back to Musical Advice with Caleb and Zach with LaughPass.tv. If you have any advice questions, pop them in the chat at LaughPass.tv and we will answer them with beautiful music. If you're not yet, sign up today. When you sign up, you get all of our episodes. You get to tell us what to do in the stream. You get free tickets to our shows. And you get 25% off of Improv Singing Grams, a digital singing telegram that we'll send to whoever you want about whatever you want. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool deal if you ask me. Alrighty. Okay, let's see here. All right, well, we're waiting for more questions to pop in. Here's another piece of free advice for you ding-dongs. Your network is your net worth. Let that sink in. Sinking in. Your network is your net worth. Your likelihood of gaining value, whether it be monetary or the position that you want, is largely dependent on the people that you surround yourself with. And here's why. Number one, if you surround yourself with highly motivated, high-value people who value the same things you value, you're gonna do those things. Like I was just talking to our piano player over the weekend, and he was giving this investment advice, and he's like, he knows about these things because of the people that he hangs out with. It's like they're all talking about them, they're looking at the trends, and so therefore he knows more people. The other part of it too is, who are the people that will come to your aid when the opportunity comes? So when I've taken a couple stabs at a TV show, an improv TV show. When I did it the first time, I knew nobody in the space, and it was all cobbled together with people I didn't really know. And again, it was kind of a first draft situation. When I did it the second time, it was years later of having developed relationships with people in production. And so I'm like, hey, we got to do a multicam comedy show, and we've got some money to do it. They were there, and they treated me right, and they gave me a good rate, and we worked on it, and we cared about it together. And that value wasn't just the money I had, it was the relationships that got built up over time. Like, you hear that story all the time of like, I hired that guy for shift manager at Dairy Queen, and then later he hired me as the VP of sales for whatever. Like, the people that you surround yourself with will be the people who hire you, will help you be promoted, will help you in your relationships, may even be your relationships. And so even more so than skills are important, but even more so than that is what you bring to the table as a friend, as a colleague, as a confidant. That is way more important than your skills or the amount of money that you have in your bank account. You're welcome. All right. Does Shay feel better today? Can you read that for me on Instagram?
Does Shay feel better today? She seemed sad yesterday with a capital S.
It's overcast here, folks, and I don't want to speak for Shay, but I think we're all kind of feeling that seasonal transition. That's why we're trying to come here and keep it light and keep it happy. Let's see here. All right, folks, let me go hop back onto the chat and see if we have any new people. All right. Hope you're both well. Thank you, Sam. We're doing fantastic. All right, this is from Layla. I just went to get my bus and it got canceled, so now I have to wait till the next one. I'm so sad. I'm so sorry, Layla. I'm jealous you live in a place with public transportation. I wish we had more of that here, but I also understand that would be hard. What's that?
I said they hate it here.
They hate public transportation. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, well, we just had, what was it, the Olympics are coming back?
Are they coming to Provo? Or coming to Salt Lake?
No, I think it's Salt Lake. And so there was these two bids of like, we are going to need better transportation. Like there's going to be hundreds of thousands of people more here in the state when that's all happening.
Yes.
So we can either invest this money in getting like a really nice like train system.
Yes.
In the Greater Valley area, or we can make all of our highways bigger. And everyone voted to make the highways.
The highway, highways bigger don't decrease
so
traffic.
Much highway here.
That's all we are is highway. We're all highways and Chick-fil-A's. That's all we are. We've only got asphalt and chicky nuggets. Oh my gosh. All right.
I want the Rio Grande plan. Look it up.
The bustles are awful. They always cancel. I am so sorry,
I don't know
Layla.
what you're talking about, but
All
I
right.
assume I like it.
Here's a question from Grace. Any advice on getting the courage of moving out of your parents' house?
Oof.
My parents keep guilt tripping me into staying, but I am at the ripe age to leave. I'm in grad school. I feel conflicted. Maybe I need advice on how to not be conflicted. So this is interesting. So your parents are guilt tripping you into staying? Are they staying because they think that they need you?
Or, yeah, that's interesting.
So I would say, like, if you're feeling like, hit it. All right, so this question is specifically of how do you get the courage to move out of your parents' house when they're guilt tripping you. But I want to broaden it out there generally, bigger. I want to make this a bigger question. So you kind of answered your own question with what you asked. You said you have fear. The thing that is keeping you there is fear. And I made a really big decision a long time ago. I was previously married. I left that marriage, and it was a really scary decision because we had kids and we had a life, and I didn't know it was the right thing, and I didn't know what was going to be good for everybody. And I listened to this podcast. I'm pretty sure it was a lady named Jennifer Finlayson Fife. And I'm not a big fan. I was just referred this one episode, and they gave a principle that really stuck with me. It says, are you making decisions based off of fear? Or are you making decisions based off of your values and your principles? And it really hit me because I'm like, all right, what are the reasons to stay in the situation that I don't feel good about? Well, I'm afraid. I'm afraid of the consequences. I'm afraid of what might happen if I step through the door. And then I asked, but what are my principles? What are my values? And I said, well, I want to be happy, healthy, generous, giving person. And I didn't feel like I was when I was in that bad place. So if you're at your parents' house and you are afraid of what will happen if you go, that's kind of the universe telling you it's time to go. Because what are your principles? Your principles, you want to be independent? You want to be able to speak your mind? You want to have your own space? Follow those rather than the fear of, but what if my parents don't talk to me again? What if they're really sad? They'll be fine. They'll be okay. Because then they will have to follow their own principles, and that shouldn't stop you from doing that. Because if you let fear is like very backwards. Fear is like backwards looking. Following your principles is very forward looking. And I've never regretted making a decision based off of what I believe and what I value. So that's my question. That's my answer for you. And you're welcome. All right. Sam says, love your honesty and being vulnerable for us. Much respect. Yeah. Well, you know what they say. If you can't be funny, be vulnerable. Hey!
Nice!
Yeah, welcome back to the show. This is Musical Advice with Caleb and Zach at Improv Broadway. If you are a LaughPass member, hop on a LaughPass, ask some advice questions that can be as real as you want to be. We'll answer, accompanied by beautiful music from Caleb Wall. And if you're not yet, sign up today. It's our mission and our dream to go full time so that we can see you on the road and create shows that you love and make it the best $5 you've ever spent, ever. All right, wonderful. Let's see here. Okay. Grace said straight facts. Thanks, fam. No, thank you, fam. When we're in the club, we're all fam. All right, let's see here. Layla, it's freezing. No! Layla, you need to invest in one of those electric jackets.
Oh, those
You plug them in.
Yeah.
And it's like my mom had one in North Dakota. She said it was like -10. She was like sweating outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are cool. I might get one. All right, I hope Shay feels better. Me too. Me too. All right, Georgia, our dear friend Georgia, says, I'd love some advice on how to better spend my time or to motivate myself. I work so much now, and when I get free time, I spend most of it looking around and seeing what I need to get done around my home or friends I should reach out to and things I enjoy, but instead I just sit on my phone for hours or binge a TV series. It always makes me feel worse, like I can't enjoy not working, but I never know how to motivate myself. I got this. Caleb, go ahead and hit it. What the? All right. So this is for people who feel like they can't motivate themselves and then feel bad about taking it easy or relaxing. So here's what I would say. identify the time in your day where you feel the most motivation or you feel the most open to possibility, and force yourself to do that. I would say the first thing you do every day is the one thing you'll be sad you don't do. Does that make sense? So for the past year or multiple years, the first thing I do when I wake up is I make a clip from our show, because I know that I will be so sad if I didn't take a chance of throwing out a piece of content out there. That's the first thing I do. Second thing is identify where your energy windows are. Me, I'm my most energetic and productive from 5 a.m. until noon. And so I have trained myself, although it's difficult because I love to sleep, to wake up at 5 and get started with the day, because I know past noon my motivation goes down. I know that after work, oh my gosh, it's very difficult. After when 5 o'clock hits, that's when I want to. And if you're able to just get that first thing done out of the way, I know this sounds really simple, but make it a holy ritual where you are offering to the universe the sacrifice of your time, of your energy, or whatever for this productive thing. Even if it's just one thing, then you get to over-celebrate and feel really good about it. I think we feel the most depressed when we over-satisfy our urges for comfort, and they're like, oh shoot. But I think we overestimate how much we actually have to do in order to feel that satisfaction. So even if it's 30 minutes of effort for something you care about, Georgia, your art, if you wake up for the first 30 minutes and you paint a painting, you're like, if I do nothing else today, at least I did that. And then lastly, I would say, don't feel bad about taking care of yourself. There's a John Lennon quote. It's something along the lines of like, do you feel bad about being lazy? And he says something along the lines of like, what a gift it is to be lazy. How incredible. We live in a time where we get to do that. Why would I ever think it's a waste of time doing something that I want to do? So, hope that helps, Georgia. You're welcome. Lord, oh Lord, hallelujah. Preach it. Maria says, I can't sub to LAUGHPASS because in my country the bank is messed up and didn't follow the immense inflation, so nobody puts money in their bank accounts anymore, and we just use cards, making me so sad. I think you can use cards too.
Like
I
cash.
will also, what's that?
It says cash.
Oh, we just use cash. I need glasses. I need glasses so
You want to try mine?
Yes.
You're going to throw up.
You go Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
This is crazy. And you're saying this doesn't even perfectly fix your vision.
No. Even with, and these glasses are a little old. I need a new pair. But even with corrective lenses, I'm like, I don't know, not 20/20. Not even close. I'm like 45/50. I don't know how the numbers work, but it's bad.
That's bad.
Yeah, it's really bad.
All right, Sam CF says, question for both of you. This is for both of us. What's your one regret? Or what's a regret?
Oh man, this is tough because I typically spend a lot of time mulling over all my regrets and the things that I would like do differently, or like, oh, I wish I would have started doing this thing earlier.
Yeah.
That's a big one for me. It's just
Yeah.
feeling like I've wasted time, you know?
Yeah.
And I think lately my one regret has been thinking about my regrets. Like thinking about the past too much. I feel like I spend too much time doing that.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest regret, is thinking about
regretting.
Is regretting. Honestly, yeah. It's like there's so much that you can pull from, like, oh, the what ifs and like if I'd done this differently or if I hadn't made that decision or whatever. But it's like a lot of that's, I think, wasted time for so many people. Certainly was for me.
Yeah.
It's like if I spend so much time and like so much of like my emotional effort thinking about the, oh, that would have been great, or oh, that was kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do anything with today, with right now, you know?
Yeah, I totally get that. And I think, you know, like for me, I feel like I should have more regrets. And so sometimes I like force myself to have empathy to have regrets, because I'm like, do I have no regrets because I'm like living life at the fullest, or because I have ADD and a conflict averse and I refuse to take accountability?
It's probably both.
So sometimes when I feel honest regret, it's like a gift, because I was like, oh shoot, like something actually made me change. Like, here's one regret I do have. I was so trained in the life that was set before me as a youth that I was just callous to the people who loved me so much in high school, and I regret that a lot. Like, I thought because I knew rationally that I would leave high school, go to college, serve a mission, get married, have kids, that it like outsourced my empathy and love for like truly wonderful people who like loved me so much. And I would tell them like, oh my gosh, like why are we writing in the yearbooks? Like this is kind of cheesy. Like why are we all crying? Like it doesn't matter. Like we're all gonna leave anyway. Like we're all gonna have lives. And it wasn't until like much later I was like, oh my goodness, true friendship at any age is such a gift. It is such a rare commodity. And I wish I just would have like appreciated it more, even if everything in my life still ended up the same, where I moved away and I didn't see them, whatever. I wish I would have told them like, this is so special and I love you and I'm so grateful. And even though it may not last forever, like thank you for sitting next to me these past 3 years in theater class. Like thank you for doing this show with me. Like I may never have this experience again. And I totally took it for granted. And I wish I hadn't. And so I think that helps me more just appreciate the gift that is people who decide to spend any time with me at all, because no one has to ever. So that's my raggart. One raggart. All right. Layla says, my coping mechanism for getting over regrets is thinking that the past is in the past. And it's in the past for no reason. The Rafiki method. It's in the past. Mm-hmm. Ow, why'd you do that? Who cares? It's in the past. It's still there. It's, oh, yes. All right. Sam says, Zach, at least you've realized this. Some people don't get to that point of empathy retrospectively. Interesting. Some people are still on their journey, and I'm sure I'm still very unempathetic in very many ways. All right. Georgia says, if I wake up and do something productive, I will give myself a pass to actually relax after I finish work. Ha ha ha. I love the idea of forcing yourself to have regrets. Yeah, I mean, for some people, I'm like, that's not your problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, for some people, it's like, pull it back a little bit. Like, celebrate your wins, give yourself a high five. But for someone with just, like, such intense ADD, and I just kind of forget everything that happened the next day, like, it's kind of like, for someone who's not naturally sad, sometimes I'm, like, grateful that I, like, cry sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, well, I don't want to say that I'll cry, but like it's like fun to be in like the quiet moments. I'm like, I'm not an emotional person. I'm like, oh, I'm crying over this TikTok video of this sheep stuck in a well. I'm the sheep in the well.
Cry,
what's that?
I've never seen you cry.
I'm sure you will.
And I think I've spent time with you on some of your hardest days, and I've never seen you cry. And I very
really
much
tough.
look forward to that.
It really the things that will get me to cry are self-sacrifice. Any story where someone sacrifices themselves. Oh my gosh, that's number one. Number two, anything with like kids, sad kid stuff that makes me cry. Yeah. And then number three, it's very specific. It's Radioactive Man from Batman the Animated Series eating a sandwich. That made me cry. There's a guy in the Batman series, gets hit with radioactive blasts. All of his skin falls off. He turns into this radioactive ghoul. And he was in a submarine just waiting. Yeah. Waiting. Just and he was eating a sandwich. Basically. And I started sobbing as like a 12-year-old. I was like, oh my gosh, his life is ruined. He's stealing this moment of normalcy. And then he got beat up because he was a bad guy. But anyway. Hello, folks. Welcome to the show. This is Musical Advice with Caleb and Zach at Improv Broadway. If you're a LaughPass member, hop onto the LaughPass chat. Give us a piece of advice you'd like, and we'll give it to you very musically and beautifully. What's the... Yes! Yes! So sad. Jackson just showed me a picture of the Radioactive Man. All right. Sam says, I got to bounce. Please keep up the brilliant work, and thank you, too, for the advice and entertainment. You're welcome, Sam. Thanks for hopping in. Let's see here. All right, folks. Interesting. All right. Here's another piece of free advice for you. Hit it, Caleb. Say no to grow. Say no to grow. Now, this one's tough for me because I like to yes and every opportunity, but I do think that being able to say no to stuff is like a privilege. Like, I think that there are fewer people who are in a position to say no than there are actually movers in the game. Like, most people should just start with saying yes. Like, say yes a lot, say yes a ton. But there does come a point where it's like, okay, think about this. if you say yes to this and it's everything that it says it's gonna be, do we even want that thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like best case scenario.
Yeah, like if you see this all the way through, like, is that really where you want to be? Like, that's how I was with like my law degree. Like, my dad was like, just take the bar, son. Take the bar, have it in your back pocket. And I was like, even if I did, like, would I want to spend 40 hours a week doing law stuff? Like, that, following that path, saying no to that was such a relief, and also allowed me to like say yes to other things that I like so much more. So, say no to grow, but caveat is realize that you have to be in a position. If you're doing literally nothing else, there's like your bandwidth is open. Just start saying yes a lot until that's full, and then get selective, and then say no, because you only have so much bandwidth. That'd be my advice. Bum, 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 bum. Hello everyone, welcome back to Musical Advice with Caleb and Zach at Improv Broadway. If you're just tuning in, we're handing out incredible advice accompanied by Caleb on the keys. If you need some, go to LAUGHPASS.tv, hop in the chat. We're talking about relationships, we're talking about professions, we're talking about dreams, we're talking about health. Any of those things, we're going to answer that for you today. And if you're not a LaughPass member, hop on today. It's our dream to get 5,000 subscribers so we can go full time and create all sorts of fun shows for you and see you on tour. Wouldn't that be so fun? Speaking of tour, January 11th, we'll be back in Austin at Cap City Comedy. Go check it out there. And we have some other tour dates at laughpass.tv. Someone says, you give advice on anything, even if I'm not qualified or trained. I'll give it to you. That's the beauty of the internet. It's
improv,
here.
Zach. You can be whatever you want to be.
You can do whatever you want, baby. When you're an improv comedian, you don't need a license.
You're like
for
Barbie.
anything.
You could be a doctor. You can be a sandwich. You can be a
Radioactive man.
Eating the
No.
sandwich.
Okay, I got another one. This one's good. Here's another piece of free advice. Stay curious. And I want to limit this specifically when you're getting in arguments. One of my favorite sayings that I learned from a therapist is, be curious, not furious. Everyone hear that? Everyone hear that bomb? Be curious, not furious. Because when you're angry and you're filled with such a righteous indignation, like you know you are right, that is not coming from a place of curiosity. It's coming from a place of entitlement, because you are entitled to your worldview as reality, when in reality, even your reality isn't reality. It's not. It's your perception of a reality. We literally aren't seeing anything that's real, because it takes time for the light to travel to our eyes and communicate through electrical impulses to our brain. So again, it's that chronically uncertain part. So stay curious. When you feel yourself getting mad or angry or disappointed, start asking questions. And sometimes, and this is really cool when it happens, it disarms the other person to allow them to get curious. There's this principle in this training that I can't remember what it's called anymore, but it's outward or inward. Are you being outward or inward? When you're inward, you're looking inside and you're not curious about anything other than what you're feeling and what's right. When you're outward, you're very curious. Even if it seems obvious, of just being like, hey, why would you say that? Can you talk to me about what's going on? I'm just curious. I'm gathering more information. It's a very neutral place to be to gather information, for you to be better informed, and often that will de-escalate the situation. So you say it over again. Say it over and over again. Be curious, not furious. Let's see. Big Hoss. I don't smoke or do drugs, but I do drink in trying to stop and do better. Huh? What does that mean? She lives far away, blah, 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 visa issues. Okay. Okay, so I met this girl who came to my country and spent a week with me and then left. We had a lot of fun, but she wants to do a long-distance relationship, and I don't know how I feel about that. Long distance is hard. I let her go. Peace. Let her go. Peace. Like, just be like, you can message me. I would say this. You can message me as much as you want. We can talk as much as you want, but there's no label on it. That's what I would say. I think it's just like it's such a recipe for disaster to be like, we're going to act as it would be like I have a long distance relationship with my Subway artist, my Subway sandwich artist. Call me. How do I make the sandwich? What do I do? What's that? I can't go to any other restaurant and eat out there. Okay, you tell me. I got to wait for you to tell me to give me nourishment for my needs,
Yeah.
not
I
into
feel
that.
like long distance makes sense if it's like, you know what the timeline is, and there's either
There's an end point.
there's either an end point, or it's like we've both agreed on what we want out of this, and long distance is giving us that. I
Yeah.
feel like so many people, it's like what you need out of a relationship is like that time together, like in the same room, all of that. Like there's a lot you can get outside of that, but
Yeah.
so it's like long distance makes sense if the expectations are really clear,
Yes.
and if you're on the same page about what those are. If not, oof.
That's a
man.
fantastic point.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is a person I'm going to marry in 2 years. Great, long distance, do whatever you got to do,
Right.
you know? But
Right.
if it's just like nebulous, you're going to be miserable.
Yeah, forever. Like, I don't know, I'm moving to Boston. And I'd also be like, give yourself like outs. Like, be with like eyes wide open. Like, stop being like, we're gonna assume the best. We're gonna be so in love and it's gonna be no problem at all. Like look at it realistically. It's like, why don't we check in every month? And we agree that if someone goes, it's not working for me, we're gonna take this month off.
Yeah.
Like, if you're able to have that level of maturity, I just feel like people can do hard things when you understand the game.
For sure.
But the game breaks when you're like, this was so much harder. And then, like, you thought I agreed to this, but I didn't actually agree to the thing that you're doing. That's
Yeah.
tricky.
I think having an expectation of like check-ins is really, really smart. So then if someone is like, I don't think I'm in this anymore, it's not like a, oh, you're betraying me. It's just like a, oh, we got to a point where it's not working.
Right.
Great.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
All right, let's see here. Here we go. Okay. Layla asking for advice. Do you have any advice on getting more confidence? All right, let's talk about confidence a little bit. So there are things I am remarkably confident about. I feel more myself on the improv stage than I do just talking to a person in real life. Now, the reason I have that is because my brain has so many reps in my head of that going well for me. But if you put me in a new situation, my confidence is going to plummet because it's very scary. So I've talked about this before, but confidence is all about exposure therapy. What are you not confident about? What scares you? If it's just like, I'm afraid of talking to strangers, this is really terrifying. Literally talk to 100 strangers. Set a goal of talk to 100 strangers today. And it could be as simple as like, hey, I'm Layla. I just want to give you a compliment. I really like your boots. Thanks so much. Goodbye. Like, do that over and over and over again to train your brain that it's fine. Because whatever you are scared of is not based in reality. It's based on your perception of the unknown and what might happen if that does thing. Now, if you want to be confident in like bridge jumping, I can't help you there. Don't jump off 100 bridges. Not good. You're rolling the dice there, okay? But if it has anything to do with social situations, like the worst thing never happens. The worst thing never happens. You don't die. You don't break up. You don't lose all your friends. It never happens that way. And so identify, isolate what scares you and do it. Do it 100 times in a day. And force yourself to do it, to train your brain to be like, I survived. And then it turns into, not only did I survive, I kind of liked it. And not only did I kind of like it, but now I crave it. I crave that because I have now built that circuit in my brain for that reward. So just go do it. Go do it, dang it, and do it 100 times and report back to me. You will be graded. All right. Georgia says, so true about friendships, especially being younger. I was so callous with friends in school, which I regret so much. Thinking the friendship wouldn't go anywhere in the future because our lives were going in different directions. But looking back, they really were so precious, and I should have appreciated them more at the time. That's definitely a big regret for me. I had such a rough home life when I was younger, so to have people that were willing to put up with me and still enjoyed being around me, no matter how miserable I would be at times, I'm so grateful for those friends. I'm so lucky that there are some really strong friendships I've managed to maintain since childhood. Also, you don't have to read that. It's a lot. Sorry. Less about advice and more about emphasizing without regret. Layla, that was actually so helpful. Thank you so much. You're so welcome. All right. Okay. Grace says, I feel I'm oversharing with a stranger on the internet. Any advice? I feel weird about parasocial relationships. I'm oversharing with any advice? So is the advice about oversharing, or is it about parasocial relationships? So I'm of the mind of just, you got to find your line, like overshare. I'd rather say too much than too little. Do you think that's true, Caleb? Or would you rather say too little?
About you? Or
About
in
me.
general?
What about you?
I'm the opposite.
You'd rather say too little than too much.
Yeah,
Man, a
always.
few words.
Yep.
Well, Mark Twain said, I'd rather my enemy think I'm an idiot than to open my mouth and to prove it. There might be something there.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Because I'm always worried that everyone's going to think I'm an idiot.
I think that you're rolling the dice, and if there are more cards on the table, like, more likely are you going to receive something valuable than you have less. Like, yeah, I might embarrass myself and might overshare, but like, at least to that I get like a learning lesson. We're like playing it safe, like playing cards to your chest. Like, you haven't gone up or down either way. You've just maintained. You're calling.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, but I think the defense mechanism of it is a big thing. Because it's like, it's all about the potential of going down. Like, you don't even think about, oh, this could give me this good thing. You're just too afraid of the negative option, you know?
Grace says, I'm referring to asking you guys for advice. Semi-joking. Feels weird about asking advice to strangers on the internet? I don't know. You'll ask Google. You'll ask AI. And I can't say I care about you immensely. Because I don't know you.
Google.
But I infinitely care more about you than Google.
Yeah, Google just cares about your bucks.
Just wants your big bangy bucks. Let's see. Guys, is there any way I could sub in my case? What are all the services you accept money from? I could go to a money transfer place like OMT every month and pay cash from there, and they transfer it. That seems wild. Are you on PayPal? We're going to try to get PayPal up on there, and that's probably the best we can do. But also, if it's like too crazy, no worries.
Yeah, well, because PayPal, normally, like, you've got to have it connected to a bank account, but there might be options outside of that.
There might be.
We can do it.
There might be. Georgia says, I wish I felt weirder about parasocial relationships. Georgia, you are fueling this show. Please never feel weird about this. You are literally saving our content.
Yeah.
I love oversharing on the internet because it gets weird. I can just disappear forever. Goodbye. So long.
That's fair.
All right, folks. Hey, thank you so much for tuning into the stream today. We should be at our regular show, the LAUGHPASS Sing-a-thon, tomorrow at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. But thanks for tuning in. If you have any ideas for segments or shows, throw them in the LAUGHPASS chat. We want to know. We're always trying new stuff, especially when one of us can't make it, if we're not feeling well or we got work or whatever. But we're going to try to be here every day, busking and pounding the pavement for y'all. But thanks for coming. Thanks for laughing. And until next time, keep laughing. Keep laughing. Keep laugh passing. And thank you, Maria. The fight isn't over.